What's up, folks? Happy Friday the 13th. Good to see you. So how did yesterday go? How did I saw some work from Simon on the page. I saw work from Marcos. No? I had just wrapped up my production assignment last night at 4:30 in the morning. So you guys are going to see me a lot more active on the class page, giving you guys crits. Cleared that off my plate. So I'm really happy about that. Dude, Simon, I saw some great stuff, man, and I got a lot of feedback for you on me posting it up on what you posted today. Really, really cool stuff. But I have some thoughts for you, and I want to give it to you before crit day. So today is really just constructing today, right? So yeah, I'm going to give you some feedback on what you have up there. You have a lot of stuff up there. Like the hornbill stuff that you got in there is pretty cool. But yeah, Christian, cool. Sub Justin. So as I said, we're gonna be constructing today inside of Zebra. So right now we're at this stage. We're really just placing landmarks and getting initial, sort of our initial placement of features and just sort of our first pass at our sculpt. We focus a little bit on silhouette. We have our concept together. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my board right now. While I'm doing that, if you guys have any questions about stuff that you've been working on so far, feel free to ask. Once I start sculpting, though, I'm going to be in the zone. I'll be chatting with you guys, but I won't have my eyes a whole lot on the questions. So I'll do my best to look every so often at it, but I might not be as responsive as I've been. Just that when I get into that zone, I get a little bit of horse blinders, and I have no problems chatting and talking about what I'm doing. But kind of looking over questions and doing it, sometimes it gets a little distracting and the work will suffer for it, and I don't want that to happen. So here's my rough board, and I'm going to go ahead and save that out. Just save that to the desktop. And I don't know if you guys, I don't know who has used image plane or if you use reference grid, but I'll show you a couple different ways to import the reference. Last time we did, we brought in a plane, I pulled it back, but just in case you guys haven't used it, I'm going to show it. So a couple different ways we can bring in that image board or paste up is we can use our floor grid, which is not necessarily my favorite way. It's good for orthographic views. I think for stuff like this, it's so-so. So let's throw it in the front and back. I'm going to click on Map, click on Import, and there it is, up behind my sculpt. If I want to modify the transparency of this, I would have to change the fill mode over to 3. And then I'd want to play with enhance opacity for the grid opacity and enhance factor for how visible my character is. I can also come in and say, all right, I'm just focusing on the head. I click on Adjust. And this is a really big document, so I'm going to have to scroll over a little bit. Grab from the edge, bring that in. Let's go to the top here. I'll zoom in on this face. Go all the way to the bottom. Bring this guy up. You know, I really would like to see this be a little bit easier to use. But I guess I can just go into the sliders and bring up the crop height. I can do that. The other way would take forever. There we go. And then let's go crop width. Bring that in. And then click on OK. And now it's just the image of the tiger. All right, so I can set up my grid like that, but it's not necessarily the most efficient way to work with this type of board. But it is a way. So let's hit Shift P, and I will. How many of you guys have used image plane? Or who, more importantly, who hasn't used image plane? If you've used image plane, I don't want to go over it if you guys have already done it, and I'm just beating a dead horse for you guys. I just want to give you multiple, I just want to give you guys multiple ways of using reference inside of ZBrush. All right, so image plane is loaded or is located at the bottom of the texture palette, image plane, and you know, open reference views to really use this. So the way that image plane works is you can drop an image in a stored view. So you have default views, front, back, right, left, top, bottom, custom 1 and custom 2. And usually I leave front alone. All right, so front I won't do anything with. Also, it's important to note that whether perspective is on or off is taken into account when you're setting your views. So I'm going to start with the front view and actually, or the back view, and I'm going to actually rotate them around. I'm going to turn on perspective. I'm going to load up my image, and it's going to drop it into the background of the document. Then after I do that, I have to click on Store View so that my settings are stored and that my image will always be there. Now what I can do is I can switch between front and back, and now I have that back there, right? And if I have different sheets that I'm working with, or I want to chop this up into multiple sheets, I can just change my view, load up a different sheet, store it, and I'm good. And then I can just automatically bounce back and forth between views. So that's another way. One of the reasons why I typically don't use it is that I don't really like having to jump into a lot of extra palettes if I don't have to. And with image plane up, if I want to turn on and off my reference, I can't do it easily on the fly. A quick way, I guess, you could set this up is you can assign a custom hotkey. So if I hit Control and Alt, click on that, and then let's say I'll assign a key to it. Oh, bastard. All right, let's try another hotkey. Control Alt to click on front, and let's go with K. All right, and that'll be my front. So if I hit the K button now, I go to front, hold down Control and Alt, and let's see. I'll use the J, right? So now I can use my hotkeys. But honestly, I most of the time, to be completely honest, I'm too lazy to set it up, and I'm always bouncing between machine to machine. Like I'm not always working on my machine. So when it comes to, and then that happens too. So anyways, that's another option for using image plane. Do you guys catch that for setting the hotkey? Claude? Yes, no, maybe so. Awesome. All right.